Hi guys, I want to give you some tips about network editing, especially the linked data. There is some idiosyncrasy about the software QRS2 that once you get the hang of it, it is fairly easy. Let me demonstrate this to you with an intersection around our campus. Let me show you this here, what we are talking about. So I have this Broderick Road Nottoway lane that's Nottoway River lane that's coming into campus. So I created a node here 204 and the intersection of Roberts Road and Broderick Road here where you see 620 here, that's node number 205, and here is our external station going to the east on Broderick Road, and north here, Roberts Road, again coming back into campus using Shenandoah Lane. Right here is node number 130. So I created a PowerPoint slide out of this. So right here, the 204 Nottoway River Lane and Broderick. The arrow actually indicates that it is that way. That doesn't mean that it's a one-way street. So it's like the node 204 is that way. 205 is right place in the intersection, which is a signalized intersection. By the way, this checkered box indicate in QRS2, the checkered box indicates it's a signalized intersection. And to the east, you have node number 14, which is essentially your external zone. This star, green star, is what QRS represents as an external station. And this way, north towards north, you have a regular intersection. It's a I forgot what it's like, intersection without delay. That is represented by this diamond, red diamond. Actually, it's a I believe it's sort of like dark red. Node number 130. So what we are going to do is take this lane configuration and then enter it into QRS, general network editor of QRS software. So let's start this. I want to start with something very fresh, so you'll be able to catch everything perfectly. So I will start a new schema. It says no name.dta. We need to have a schema to get this. You need to have a sketchpad schema. So what I want to use for this one, or you should be using, is detailed QRS detailed schema. To learn the very basics of QRS, you might have used QRSII, but to get better representation of the networks and the intersections and in both directions, for instance, if you have a link going east, you may have a signal. Going west, you may not have a signal. If you use QRSII, it will take both east and west end of the link having the same type of intersection configuration. So that's why you should use QRS detailed. So I'm clicking on QRS detailed, open that. We will save this for later. So I click no. By the way, I'm only showing you the data entry here. This is not a full network, just enough for you to get grasp of these concepts. All right, I hope you get that. Now 204 to 205 is the first link I'm going to draw, 205 to 14. So remember, the convention is going from left to right, and top to bottom, east to west, I'm sorry, west to east, north to south. So that is the convention I'm going to use here. So I'm not going to change the scale or anything right now, just leave it as it is. Of course, you're going to use the image that is given to you as the background, and on that you're going to trace it. That's why it is called a sketch pad. So let me drag it a little bit here. So by now you have all the information about these menu items here at the top. So I'm not going to go over all of them, but this is the node plot, link plot. Again, if you already have a node that is plotted, you open with this here with N. If you already have a link plotted, you open this one, etc., etc. So let's do a node plot and open at the same time. Let's start here with somewhere here. Let's start with 204. Left click stops you there, and right click puts the node. And this is my 204, which I just showed you. It's a intersection with relay. That is the terminology for signalized intersections. Now let's do this 204 here. That's what my name is. I'll just plot it right there. Attributes for the time being, just okay. Let's give a signal cycle length of 90 seconds. So let's just leave only that data, and rest of them ignore it for the time being. So see the checker box here. That's the reason why I have it in my PowerPoint presentation also, kind of like try to simulate what they have here. So go back to General Network Editor, GNE, and in the same direction, I'm going to just somewhere there put 205. So left click first to locate your node, right click there to plot the node. This is also going to be an intersection with delay, and this is going to be my node 205. I'll just put a signal cycle length of 90. So I'll say OK, and then OK. And oh, by the way, these have to be plotted to the scale with your image on the background. So approximate length will be just fine for this project. So now we are plotting external station here somewhere. The location of external station usually doesn't really matter, because the information you are going to collect where the centroid connector to the external station is almost useless, because that you're not going to include that in any of your statistics, useful statistics, let me put it that way. So click here, left click here, right click there, and now when the dialog box pops up, you just create that an external station there, and I call this 14. So, and let's see what attributes you can group, HPW productions and all that. So this data you will enter. There's not much complication in that one. You will enter as it was given to you. So let me cancel that. Say that. So you see the green star. So basically that's what I try to replicate in my PowerPoint presentation as well. So the nodes are, Bradicode nodes are plotted. Let's plot the links here. So link. So I clicked on link, plot open. So first click on 204 and then 205. Remember, west to east or left to right. So that's, as I click on the second node or the B node, it says a two-way street. Now here is something that you want to make sure you are entering everything correctly. Make sure what are your options here. Two-way street, centroid connector, two-way, no left turn street, etc., etc. So click the right one. In this case, it's a two-way street, and there's no such thing as no left turn. That means left turns are allowed at Roberts Road. Essentially, your B node is at Roberts node. So let me just leave it as it is. So cancel, two-way street. Now, you can give a name, say Broderick Road, I just said. The important thing here is about attributes. Now, look at this. This looks different from your QRSII.dta. This is totally different schema that you're using, because this is the real network. QRSII is just to make make you get started. So what I'm going to do here is the approach codes is what you should understand better. So what does this mean? This is, first of all, let's check these tabs first. Attributes 1 through A, basically 1 through 9, and then A, and then B through K, and L through M. Those are the attributes. So there is so much more information you can provide. We are not going to use all this information. So just the approach codes is the most important thing in this video I'm going to mention. So you can, of course, you will be using volume A to B, volume B to A, because this is, I will explain the reason why you have to do this, especially for the project in CIE 360, so 462. Okay, let's get back to this tab, attributes 1 through A, and make sure you are in approach codes checkbox. Now open the worksheet here. This worksheet looks different than QRSII approach code worksheet. So what this says is lane geometry going from A to B and progression code B to A. So you are providing the first four letters here for the direction. Actually, it has to be like this. The first three letters are from A to B direction. The next three letter codes, last three letter codes are for B to A direction. The middle O being the functional class of the entire road. Whether it's A to B or B to A, it is going to be the same functional class. That's why you don't have two functional classes, one for A to B, and there is no such thing as for B to A. Okay, now let's see what these mean here. Let's click on the through traffic phase code. So one of the things is, if the QRS manual says if you say 0 default and it is based on your coordinate geometry, it will figure out it's north, south, or east, west. I seen some trouble with that, so I would be more explicit on this one. So it's basically this is a network that is this is a particular link. Product road is going more southwest to northeast, right? So I will use that in this direction. So watch this. When you select this one, opposite direction also, it took the same thing. Wait a minute. Did it take it? Lane geometry. No, it did not. So anyway, we'll go one by one and then see where we are. Now, lane geometry. Oh, actually, you don't need a through code for both directions because they're it would assume they are in the same orientation, general orientation. Now, lane geometry is the critical thing. So if you click here in the drop down menu, they are abbreviated. You don't really know what they are. So if you look at the manual, I have this open here. If you look at the manual and go to page 59 of the manual, these things are very well explained. And take a look at page 59 one more time. If you look at, you can read through all this. If you look at E here, signalized intersections, or the other one is V to E. These, well, first let's take a look at the signalized intersection. The approach has an exclusive left lane, but no exclusive right lane. So this is what it says. The approach has an exclusive left lane but no exclusive right lane. So let's go back and look at this. This is Broderick Road going from southwest to northeast, and there is an exclusive left lane here. There is no right lane. So this, for 204, 205 A to B direction, you will use whatever whatever the code that just shown here in QRS says E. So I will use, for my A to B direction, which is basically 204 to 205 link, I will use the code E. is what I have. Progression code, leave it as random. Functional class is 0. Other type, you can check what this. These are user defined A, B, C, D. So just leave it as other for the time being. Lane geometry, B to A. This is the important element here. Now, what is it looking like on B to A is, look at what our options are. So I don't have that thing here in my PowerPoint presentation because 204 is not in this vicinity here. So I will go here. This is a little complicated, but nothing we cannot figure out. So what do you have here? So you have this is a through lane, this is a through lane, and these people here, this is a left turning lane. See this here, left turning pocket for these guys. Okay, this is a left turning pocket, and there is a separate right turn. So essentially the same type of code, but in the network, if you are not using this this link as a network, this link is not there in your network, you probably don't want to include this lane. But to be truthful to this geometry, let us use exactly the same thing as what you have. So in the eastbound direction, you have one left lane and no right lane, right? So we used E code. And what will that be for westbound direction? You have a right lane separately. The approach has both an exclusive left lane and an exclusive right lane, but no stop sign. This is my code for this westbound direction. So I'm going to do here W as my westbound direction. Again, progression code is 3 random. So what is this? Is this a divided? I'm sorry, not that one. It's a divided or undivided. Raised curve. Take a look and then see for yourself. This is raised curve or something. If it is impossible for you to get onto the other side, it's not like a double yellow line divided road. So then you probably would like to create it as a divided road. So one more thing here, just take a look at this. This is essentially a divided road. So we will use the thing as divided road here. So use it as raised curve, two-way left turn lanes. I would say raised curve. So that's what the option that's given. So this is the most critical part of your approach course. Okay, and I will say yes. Yes. All right. Now we will do a connection between 205 and your external station 14, and that will be a simpler one. And then there you go. So you have, it is a two-way street, yes, but it is more of a centroid connector dummy. Or well, here is the thing. If it is an external station or a special generator or a zone centroid, all of them are centroid connectors. So is any centroid connector essentially has to be identified as such. You can still call it Broderick Road, that's fine. If there are any other attributes you want to say not used here, I mean, just don't touch any of that, it might backfire. So the background volume, if you are given that, you will be entering that. So anyway, we are not getting over, we are not covering the other inputs in that link. Okay, now just cancel that and click here OK to save it. Now you have your centroid connector. So just one more node if we add, and then this node 130, which is at Roberts Road and Shenandoah lane, which is right here. Um, right here. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Let's see what it looks like. Roberts Road and Shenandoah. So you have a left turn pocket here, and there is no sign control in here. Left turn pocket and no sign control. So let's see how you can enter that data here. First of all, we got to plot a node. That node is going to be somewhere here. Let's say, of course, you're going to plot it exactly where it belongs. Otherwise, the distances will be messed up. So right click. So the intersection without delay, there is no intersection. I mean, there is no signalized intersection that you would use as intersection without delay. And I call that 130. And then let's see what the attributes are: area, weight, production, extra, etc. So these are not important for us right now. So I will save that. Now you have, so let's see, we need to add the link. Remember, the convention is top to bottom or north to south. So I will click on 130 first and then come down to 205, click on it. So you have a two-way street. Yes, of course, let's see what are all your options. So it's a two-way street, agreed, and we call it Roberts Road, Roberts Road, and then attributes. The attributes of that are, again, the similar thing. Go to the worksheet, click on that worksheet, and then the first one is, what is your orientation? Pretty much it's north-south, so keep that. So lane geometry, sign A to B. Remember, we are going from top. A to B is north to south. A to B is north to south, so we will check what the manual says about that. So north to south is headed towards a signalized intersection. So what is the configuration of the signalized intersection? You have a left turn lane, you have a right turn lane. And remember this, if you don't use this in your network, you may have to do it separately. But the fact that these two are in this particular network, you have to enter a right turn lane and a left turn lane, which we earlier found out this. The code is the approach has both an exclusive left lane and an exclusive right lane, but no stop sign. So that is what we will enter here, which is W for A to B, which is 132, 205. So W. And is this progression code random? Leave it. Functional class other, leave it. And then lane geometry B to A. B to A, we have one left turn lane, there is no right turn. So let's see what the code for that one is. So it's an unsignalized intersection. Approach has a stop sign, so R doesn't work. Unsignalized intersection, approach has a stop sign and two lanes, that doesn't work because there is no stop sign there for these guys. So the only code that applies here is an approach does not have an exclusive lanes or stop sign. No, that is not also the case. So you have approach has signalized all intersection. So let me see, the approach has a stop sign, exclusive right lane, no stop sign, exclusive left lane. I'm inclined to use S here, so that's the easiest way to do. So let me do that here. I will use S for B to A, so I'll use that. This is an undivided road, so we know that, so leave that. I mean, the reason why you used S is because none of the other, I'm sorry, here, for 205 to 130, we are using yes, even though there is a left turn pocket, there is no option given to us in that case. So I will just use the closest one, that is yes. So click OK. Click OK. So now you have your network, the link approach codes taken care of. And I hope that's useful to you. And I'll see you in another video that will help you through the project.